You can have the title, the followers, a six-figure brand, but if your kids barely know your voice, then what did you really build? Legacy for me isn't about what the world applauds, how many play buttons you get, how much money you earn. It's about what your family remembers. And I don't want to chase success at the cost of significance for my family. Nowadays, I wake up at 3:45 a.m. I do a lift for 45 minutes, and once I get back in the house, I read my Bible and then I begin to journal. The reason why I say that is that I've been using ChatGPT in order to generate journal prompts for me so that I have a fresh new topic to journal about each day. And the topic that it gave me today was, if the past 7 days of your life was a silent movie, no words, just action, what would people say was the most important thing in your life? Now, for me, that actually was a little bit of a shocker for me because I had been working so hard on getting this channel back up and running, recording multiple videos a day, editing pretty late at night, and then going to my 9 to 5 a couple of days, that I realized that there is a gap in my values and my actions over the last 7 days. And once I realized this, I had to make a decision. Was I going to keep on the path that I had laid for myself, or was I going to change direction and be intentional about what my values are? And I think that if you know me, you know this channel, you know that I didn't choose to continue to work in times allocated for my family in afternoons. So today I told myself that past 4 o'clock, past 5 o'clock, there's going to be no more 9 to 5. There's going to be no more YouTube. It is going to be strictly time for my family. And if I can't get the allocated things that I have tasked for myself done throughout that day by that time, then it can simply wait until the next day. Because at what point does uploading one more video, editing one more minute, or making one more thumbnail do instead of the short times that you get to spend with your family before having to do it all over again the next day? And the hustle culture that I bought into for a lot of years is that you can grind now and spend time later. You can grind now and rest when you're dead. And that's because the world rewards output and not family input. But I believe that the scoreboard at the end of your life won't be a record of how many dollars you earned versus how many dollars you saved. It won't show how many subscribers you have all around you at the end of your journey. And your last fading memories won't be of that one more thumbnail that you made or that one more sale that you secured. But as you leave the world, it'll be flashing of the memories that you created with the ones that you care about, of your loved ones, of your family, children, mother, father, all of those people. Those will be what really matters in the end. We tend to celebrate CEOs and write books and biographies about them, but forget the seemingly ordinary present father. And there was a quote that I heard that kind of sticks in my head a little bit, that in order to be extraordinary, you just have to do extra of the ordinary. I know that may sound cliche, but when you think about it, that you don't have to be special in order to be special. You just have to discipline yourself and do more of that thing. The basketball players that are great, yes, they may have some raw talent in the very beginning, but most of it is made in the mundane, in practicing the same move over and over and over again until you can't stop it. I believe Bruce Lee actually said, I may be misquoting, that I don't fear the man that practiced 10,000 moves one time, but I fear the man that practiced one move 10,000 times. So in my opinion, I believe that most men won't ever regret working too little, but rather missing the moments that they can't get back. Missing the childhoods, missing the graduations, missing the conversation that could have shaped a man like Pottery into something amazing. So that goes back to what I'm really trying to build outside of this YouTube channel. It is not to get a gold play button, but it's going to be a marriage that outlasts any job title that I could possibly get. Kids who know that their father wasn't too busy to look them in the eye. A household where faith, love, and discipline are foundational, not just decorative on the walls. A legacy where who I was at home was more important than who I was at work. Don't get me wrong, I want to be successful in public, but I want to be significant in private. And because of this, I had to redefine what providing meant for my family. Obviously, we think about providing in terms of monetary dollars, how much bacon you can bring home and how much food you can put on the table. But for me, this is what redefining meant. Providing isn't just about money. It's about presence, wisdom, and protection. Building a family requires just as much intention and effort as building a brand, as building a YouTube channel or a business. I have come to know that careers without emotional stability at home is a recipe for burnout. You can't spend every hour building something, working all day and night, and then thinking that once it's all done, you will have a family right there who waited for you the entire time without you being present. So I'm of the thinking now that if my family has to suffer from my absence in order for me to succeed, then it's not worth it. That's one of the reasons why I was very particular about where I tried out for the NBA G League. I only tried out for 2 teams, which was the Dallas Mavericks and for the New Orleans Pelicans, because I have a close set of family in both of those states. When I got cut from the New Orleans Pelicans NBA G League team, I had the option of doing a physical or trying to get placed for another team, but I knew that ultimately it wasn't my goal just to play basketball, but it was to make content around it and be close to my family at the same time. And that has led me to structure my life a little bit differently. What I do now when recording these videos or working my 9 to 5 is utilize a strict sense of time blocking. As I said in multiple videos, I record 2 or 3 videos at a time in one sitting and release them over multiple days. This does 2 things. It allows me to have intense and focused work, and also allows me to have more free time throughout other days because I'm not just dragging along projects just to seem busy every day. If I know I want to record 3 videos in 3 hours, then I have to be focused, because at 5 p.m. when it's time to turn it off, I don't give myself that opportunity to work over anymore. And while it may come to the detriment of some short-term gains, I may not be as viral worthy by doing these all at once as I probably could be. What it does is that it protects the long-term unity that I have built with my family. In my life, I have been focused around creating systems that give me freedom, only accepting jobs that have a remote work environment, building sources of passive income through real estate investing and evergreen videos on YouTube, and shifting my content more into legacy content rather than just personal finance talk. Because now that I have 1 son and 2 kids on the way, I realize that I have to build my future with my kids in mind, not just followers or fellow investors on the internet. Because ultimately, you don't just stumble into a great family. You don't just delay having a great family. It is built just like a business or anything else is built, day by day and brick by brick. Because for me, the real goal is legacy and not just the lifestyle that a successful business can offer. I know that our culture, even though I'm uncle status now, will push you to chase a lifestyle, the fancy cars, the fancy houses, living where you want and doing what you want, living a life of comfort. That is the dream for most people. But family, and I really believe this, is where the real wealth is built. Faith is where the real wealth is built. Because I know that my kids will remember how I made them feel, not how much money I made. Legacy is about being the man that your grandchildren will thank God for. Because if you're on this journey with me, you're not just building a business, you are building a bloodline. And one day when I'm old and gray, I believe that someone will Google my name and maybe they'll see the channel or a book that I've written or the brand that I've built over the years. And if at the cost of that, my kids don't feel seen, then none of it really matters. And if you found any value in this video, then please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.